Good morning. So it seems to be a running trend that we do a video and then we have to take like a week off because things are crazy. So I wanted to take a minute and just say thank you for being here, even though we are not able to do as many uploads as we were doing. Life is just getting a hold of us. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details, but I just want to give you a quick little recap of what our week looked like and why we were kind of MIA. So a lot of you know that my little boys had been sick, Levi especially sick, that's my youngest. He, on the tail end of a double ear infection, my poor little guy ended up catching some kind of gnarly virus, and on Halloween day, he was covered head to toe with a rash and had a fever and the whole shebang, and it was just really trying times. I also had a lot of work, and I had a wedding, and then I had another wedding, and it's just been kind of crazy. So, welcome back to me. So I am filming this video all by my lonesome because the boys are at school and Dan is at work, and it's actually a little bit of a challenging recipe, but you guys are gonna be excited. You know how I promised a lot of like holiday treats and whatnot? Today I'm gonna be making Fathead keto cinnamon rolls, and I'm really excited about it. Cinnamon rolls is one of my most favorite treats. Like, who doesn't love cinnamon rolls? And one of the coolest things about making this recipe is it's actually part of a video collab with a bunch of really amazing keto people. This was supposed to upload yesterday, but I had issues with my internet because I just can't catch a break. So we're not gonna stress about that. I'm going to leave the links to all of these amazing videos down below. I really love making collabs with this group of people. A lot of really incredibly creative and talented cooks in there, and it's just really cool to kind of have some teamwork with a lot of people that I've never met. Lauren did a video, Colorful Keto with Dori did a video, this chick Lindy who I really love. Yeah, it's a really awesome group of people. I'm stumbling over my words because I haven't done this in a week, and it's not like riding a bike, you guys. You have to kind of like get back into the groove. So your patience is very much appreciated. Let me show you what I'm drinking in my coffee, and then we will get rolling. See what I did there? We'll get rolling on the cinnamon rolls. Oh, hell. Let me show you what's in my coffee. I'm trying a new product, okay? It's called Coffee Booster, and for those of you that are Bulletproof Coffee fans, you're going to think this is really awesome. It comes in a bunch of different flavors, but basically what it is it's a high-fat coffee creamer that comes already made, okay? So let me show you the package, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Coffee Booster. Okay, so like I said, it comes in a bunch of different flavors, but this is just the original, I believe. One of the things that's really cool about this is that it is a high-fat coffee creamer, no GMOs, gluten-free, vegetarian. What else does it say? Made with organic ingredients. Okay, so I want to read out the ingredients to you so you can see how easy it is to make bulletproof coffee without having to go through all of like the hoopla. It's virgin coconut oil, grass-fed ghee, raw cacao powder, and that's it. So basically you take a tablespoon of this. Can you see? And blend it into your coffee. I really like it. This is actually my first day trying it. I will see if it gives me the same pep that my regular bulletproof coffee method does, but so far so good. It tastes delicious. It blended up really easy. I actually used a little like a little hand frother instead of my Ninja blender. So like one of these guys here, they sent me this as well, and I am like smitten. So I hope I love the product because the company's really cool. So I'll link Coffee Booster down below so you guys can kind of get a peek at what they're doing. I love that it just kind of simplifies bulletproof coffee. So I just did a tablespoon of that, a tiny splash of half and half, blended it up, and it is delicious. So let me show you what you're gonna need for the Fathead cinnamon rolls. And again, I apologize for my scatterbrainness because I'm a little bit of a mess right now. Are you a mess? Or are you doing awesome? If you're doing awesome, like, tips down below. How do you mom and work and wife and YouTube and do all of the things while still maintaining like a super chipper, positive, happy attitude. I wouldn't say that I have a bad attitude, but I will say that I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed with life in general right now. There's a lot of really amazing things happening and a lot of really good things to be grateful for. And I'm just trying really hard to practice gratitude instead of kind of letting myself spiral into being this like overwhelmed, grouchy bitch. How do you do it? Let me know. All right, so this is gonna start with the same fathead dough recipe that you guys have seen me make a bazillion times. It is originally from the Diet Doctor, and the only ingredient that I'm going to be omitting this time is the vinegar. Not for any reason other than I do not have any. That's right, we're gonna omit the vinegar. So I'll leave the recipe for the Diet Doctor fathead dough down below. I just want to kind of let you know that we have used this fat dough head recipe for 7 million things. I used it for spinach hand pies, I've used it for calzones, I've used it for pizza. It's really one of the most versatile and no-fail fathead recipes that I've used. So let me show you what you're gonna need to make the dough. There is a frosting for these, but we'll worry about those ingredients right before we make the frosting because I'm gonna let them cool a bit before I add the frosting. So here's what you're gonna need. Okay, we're gonna start with the dough. So you'll need about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, a 1.5 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. Do not buy pre-shredded, shred your own. It makes the texture better. We're also going to need 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 3 tablespoons of granular swerve or erythritol, and then 3/4 cup of almond flour. This cheese mixture is going to go into the microwave from anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. You just want it to be really melted and well incorporated before you add the other ingredients. So I'm gonna throw that in the microwave and then I'll show you. Okay guys, once your cheese mixture is melted together, then we're gonna add the other ingredients and we'll form our dough. So 3/4 cup of almond flour, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 3 tablespoons of granular swerve, 1 egg, and then we're gonna mix this up until a dough starts to form. Here is my little ball of dough. I'm gonna take this entire bowl and I am gonna put it in the refrigerator while I make the cinnamon roll filling. Okay, so while that dough hangs out in the fridge, we are gonna go ahead and make the filling up. So I am going to take 4 tablespoons of butter and put it in the microwave until it is melted. Then I'm gonna add to that 4 tablespoons of brown sugar erythritol. So this is Swerve and it's the brown sugar version. It's 4 tablespoons. Then another teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm also going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So get this melted and then we'll make the filling. Okay, so into my melted butter goes my teaspoon of cinnamon, my 4 tablespoons of brown sugar Swerve, and then about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We are going to whisk that all together and it's gonna make an absolutely beautiful cinnamony filling for our cinnamon rolls. So so the way that I like to do fathead dough recipes, especially when I'm doing it by myself and I don't have like an extra set of hands here, I will take a very large cookie sheet and put a piece of parchment paper on top of it. And then I basically will roll out the dough between 2 pieces of parchment paper. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna get this dough ball on here. Stay with me. Then I'm going to add another piece of parchment paper right on top of it. And then I'm gonna use my rolling pin to roll it out. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees while you are rolling out your dough. I put a tiny bit of coconut oil on my hands, and I'm just gonna start pressing this out, and then I will put the other piece of parchment paper on top and roll it out fully. It smells so good. I've got my dough all rolled out and my oven's preheated to 375 degrees. I'm going to take an 8-inch cake pan and grease it really well with coconut oil. You could also use butter. You want to make sure that it's greased really well or it will stick. Put that off to the side. Now we are going to peel off the top layer of the parchment paper. Like so. Then, this is where it starts to get messy, but it's gonna be worth it. We are going to take our cinnamon sugar mixture and just basically smear it all over our dough. You want a really even coating. I'm actually gonna go grab a basting brush. Stand by. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and spread this out. Like I said, it's going to be messy. That is okay. These are cinnamon rolls, and you know, a little mess and a little struggle usually ends up being worth it when it comes to low carb baked goods. And I don't know about you guys, but trying to make it through all of these like holidays and whatnot, keto is really, really, really hard. But we're gonna do it together. So once you've got that all evenly coated, now we're gonna roll it up. So we're gonna need a lot of prayers because this is not going to be easy. I'm going to try my best to show you my most preferred method for rolling things like this up. I hope it translates through the video. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my parchment paper to help me roll it up. Fathead dough is very sticky and it will stick to itself. So I'm going to start the roll, and I'm basically just going to continue folding this over and allowing the parchment paper to help me roll it up, okay? I hope this makes sense. Basically, every time you get a little roll over here, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's nice and tight. It's going to take a little bit of practice before you nail this, okay? So if you're planning to make these for like a Thanksgiving breakfast or a Christmas breakfast, I highly recommend doing like a test run batch. So your batch that's for family really, really, really is perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep rolling that up, and as you can see, I've got a little bit of a log going. Be patient with it, it's gonna come together. Okay, once you've got the log all rolled up, put a little loop of your parchment paper over it and just try to even it out as best you can. It's not gonna be perfect, it'll probably be a little bit bigger in the center, but that's okay. So I've rolled it up just like that into a nice giant log of cinnamon roll. I am going to put this in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes before I cut it into the rolls. Okay guys, so I just pulled my little log of cinnamon rolls out of the fridge. And basically what I'm doing is I am taking an extremely sharp knife and I'm going to cut them into about 1-inch rolls, okay? Now, you want to be really careful with this step and make sure that your knife is sharp. That's it. Okay, so I am just setting them into my little greased cake pan here. They smell so good, And putting them in the refrigerator or putting the log into the refrigerator before you cut them is really helpful. When fathead dough gets too warm, it tends to be a little bit sticky. So when you're making recipes like this and you need to be able to cut it before it goes into the oven, it being on the cool side is definitely helpful. Oh, I can't wait to eat these. Okay. Let me show you what they look like in the pan and then we'll get them in the oven. All right, you guys, here they are. I am going to put them in a 375-degree oven for about, I'm gonna say 25 minutes. I am going to check them at 20. I'm not certain just how long they'll take, so I'll be sure to let you know the proper cooking time once they're done. All right, everybody, here they are. My cinnamon rolls ended up taking almost 30 minutes, and for the last 8 minutes, I actually put a piece of foil over the top. Our oven is kind of weird, so any kind of baked good or new recipe, I really watch it while it's baking, and I suggest that you do the same. This may be a little bit of trial and error for cooking time, but they smell amazing. Let's make the icing. Okay, guys, for the icing, you are going to need 2 tablespoons of almost melted butter, a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to eyeball the confectioner's sugar. What I'm using here is actually powdered monk fruit sweetener. That's what's going to work best for an icing. I'll show you the bag when I'm done mixing this up, but you're gonna use about 3/4 of a cup of powdered monk fruit sweetener. And then I'm gonna start with a teaspoon of regular 50/50. If it needs more liquid, I'll go ahead and add more as I'm mixing it. So I'm gonna whisk this all together and check the consistency. This is what it looks like. It's definitely an icing. I'm going to add a little bit more of 50/50 because I want mine to be a little bit more liquidy than this. I want to be able to just about pour it onto mine. But if you like more of a frosting consistency, this will get you there. All right, guys. I am going to go ahead and drizzle on my icing, and then I will give these a taste for you. I don't love the texture of my icing, but like I said, that's going to be a little bit of a trial and error thing the more that I make these. Okay, here they are. They look absolutely delicious and I cannot wait to try one. This is what I used for the icing. Powdered monk fruit sweetener. I got this at a local health food store by my house, but they definitely have it on Amazon. So that's what I used to make the icing. I probably should have sifted it, but I'm lazy. And the next time I make them, I will sift it into the icing mixture. So I'm gonna cut one of these out and give it a try. Don't tell Dan. Okay, I've got it cut out of the pan. And as you can see, they held up really, really well. You have to make sure that you cook them long enough or they're not gonna, they might be a little mushy. So, I mean, it is a solid, sturdy cinnamon roll. Holy shit. I cannot believe I have not done this before. The holiday season. I wish that I would have had these before, like, before today. God, I can't even speak. Okay, they are delicious. So, you can see the individual little layers in there, at least I hope you can. It really holds up like a regular cinnamon roll. So I know this was a little bit of a time-consuming recipe and is a little bit adventurous, but I'm here to tell you that if you are craving cinnamon rolls and you want something that is going to be relatively simple, these are gonna be the way to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I hope you make them and you love them, and I hope it prevents you from eating like a regular full sugar cinnamon roll throughout the holiday season. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and I will see you as soon as we possibly can.